Alrighty, we are on our way to Canyon Village inside Yellowstone. We're trying to photograph the lower falls, and specifically the rainbow that appears at the base of the falls. Throughout the year, there's only about 2 months where you can actually see this rainbow happen, and it might happen for 10 or 15 minutes the whole day. So this shot takes a little bit of prep. Um, when we get up there, it's insanely busy all the time. And it's loud. You won't be able to hear anyone speaking. So I won't be able to narrate as we're shooting. But a few things, if you're gonna try to get this photograph, this is one of those really rare landscape pictures that are used with a very long telephoto lens. So we're gonna shoot at 400, 300 millimeters today, which sounds weird. Most landscape pictures you're shooting at 14, 16, 20, things like that. But we're gonna shoot like 300 today. Obviously, anything with a rainbow in it, the polarizer helps. And it's gonna be bright. I mean, it's 8 o'clock in the morning right now, and we're gonna be using hopefully this direct sunlight. And with waterfall photos, a lot of times people love the long exposure look, and it's gonna be difficult to get long exposure with this much light. So we also brought a few ND filters. I think with a 4-stop ND filter and then a half-stop polarizer on, we might be able to get our shutters down to 1/10 of a second, which isn't really long enough, especially for the lower falls. Whenever I'm teaching photography and we're shooting waterfalls, if you want that streaky waterfall look, I always tell people, kind of in your head, pick out a piece of water that's falling and see how long it takes to hit the bottom. And if you can make your shutter speed that long, it'll look like one smooth looking waterfall. We won't be able to get that today. The lower falls is 308 feet high. It's going to take multiple seconds for the water to streak down. So we don't have that. So we'll deal with 1/10 of a second, and we'll see how it looks. I've never minded a faster shutter for waterfalls, especially today with the mist coming off and the rainbow. Maybe you do want to see the detail in the water droplets as they rip off. So maybe we won't use the polarizer or the ND filter, and we'll shoot it 500th of a second. We'll see. The other way of going about it is we can take 20 images of the waterfall, and then in post-production blend those all together. You can kind of mimic long exposure. Same way like your iPhone, when you do live view, can mimic long exposure. It's just taking a series of shots and then blending them all together. You can do that with a real camera too. So we're gonna get up here. I'm gonna probably set the GoPro up on a little time lapse. You can see hopefully how busy the overlook is for Artist Point, and maybe once we get back to the house, we'll do some narration about Artist Point and kind of why it's a cool spot. Yeah. So just a thing of note, if you're coming here like I'm doing today to photograph the rainbow at the lower falls, on your way you stop at the upper falls, which is just it's what, half a mile upstream from the lower falls. The rainbow there came out about 8:30 this morning, so about 20 minutes ago that was that. I didn't really have the right gear. I needed about a 70, and I only had a 16-35 or 100-400. So I took a picture, but it's nothing. But by happenstance, I got up here super early, so I was like, I'm just gonna go walk out and look at the upper falls, not planning to photograph at all, and come around and there's a nice big rainbow at the base of it, much like we're looking for at the lower falls. So if coming up here, I'm going to tell you to get here early anyway, just to make sure you're not racing, since the rainbow doesn't happen for more than a few minutes. But yeah, make sure you're stop at the upper falls on the first. It sounds like because there was this will be fun. There's a bison in the road. Oh, he's rubbing on a tree. Let's see. I'll flip this around. Sure, it's so far away. Look at this guy working this tree over. He's just scratching his head on the bushes. People ask me sometimes, like, why is the bark rubbed off on the trees? And this is one of the reasons. This elk, ooh, look at that. now there's a car behind us, so we better keep going. Yeah, like that one tree, Jesus wept. Anyway, that was fun. No, yeah, when I'm doing tours, people all the time will ask why the trees have, you know, it looks like rubbings or just are missing bark. That's very much one of the reasons. Elk will rub on trees. Bears obviously claw trees, scratch their back on them. By the road in the springtime, when we're plowing the road for summer travel for wheeled vehicles, the plowing operations can really fire rocks and ice into the tree line too. So sometimes you see some like right on the roadside, just every tree is stripped, and that's definitely the plowing operation. But anyway, we're heading into Artist Point. I'm gonna get my gear ready to go, and we are very early. We got almost an hour until this rainbow appears, and well, I count my chickens yet, but there's not a cloud in the sky right now, so we should have a very good chance at seeing this rainbow. Artist Point was first named by park photographer Frank J. Haynes in his 1890 guidebook. Haynes assumed that painter Thomas Moran of the 1871 Hayden Geological Survey painted from this location and named it in Moran's honor. Moran actually painted from the north rim closer to present-day Inspiration Point. The lower falls was first photographed by William Henry Jackson in 1871. Jackson's photos, along with Moran's paintings, convinced Congress to establish Yellowstone as the first national park March 1st, 1872. Alrighty, we just finished the lower falls. Perfect day. So I want to mark this up. It is July 2nd, 2023. From Artist Point, if you're at the upper overlook or Artist Point, we noticed the rainbow starting at about 9:45, and by 10 o'clock it was completely done. So 15 minutes, and it's almost like a bell curve. It got really, really good, and then it got poor, but we could see the rainbow for 15 minutes. So there might have only been about 5 minutes of perfect rainbow for that. Yeah, there's not many times where I get done and I'm heading home and I am very excited. Sometimes it takes me 10 weeks to edit a photo or a video, and we're gonna do it this afternoon. So I am heading back to West Yellowstone, and we'll get this thing up as quick as we can. Anyway, cheers.